McKinley Field on the campus of Urbana High School. It's senior night for the Urbana boys soccer team. We're here to bring it to you live on the Tigers Media Network. I am Joey Wright. We are just about set to get going here at McKinley Field this afternoon. This game, originally supposed to start at 6:30, has been moved up to 4:30 due to weather concerns, but we should stay out of the weather's path here this afternoon. As there you get a look at the Tigers huddling up, discussing their game plan prior to kickoff. 12 wins for the Tigers on the year, and they look to take home the win in this their final home game of the regular season. For the Knights of Peoria Richwoods High School, they enter 7-9, perhaps looking to play spoiler here on the Tigers senior night. Looks like it will be Urbana beginning with the ball. And that's Logan Flessner we see there at the 50-yard line, just getting ready to go here, number 2. He's a senior. So many seniors to highlight here as we move through the contest. And this is also the final regular season home game for head coach Randy Blackman. His storied tenure as the Tigers head coach ends at the conclusion of the season, and of course you're always hopeful that the Tigers can make a deep playoff run, but this we know for sure to be his final guaranteed home game. We'll host sectionals here at this field, but sectionals aren't guaranteed. As the ball goes out of bounds, Jason Liggett behind the camera, and again I'm Joey Wright flying solo. Stephen Thompson was to help us helped me particularly on the call, but because the game was moved up to 4:30, he has football practice, and that's going on right behind us at Blackman Field. The junior varsity game today was canceled, and here we see Urbana with an early chance to score, or rather Richwoods, excuse me. Urbana will force a turnover, and they go the other way. Number 14, Spencer Wagner. And here's Flessner. Now back to Bennett Anderson and back to Logan. Shot on goal is rejected. Out of bounds. We'll go to Urbana. Let's get a look at some of the seniors here for the Tigers. Logan Flessner, Bennett Anderson, Sam Aaron, Magnus Parente, Lateef Bridgewater, Artem Burnett being honored as a senior tonight, as well as Freddie Lopez Turquios and Rodrigo Orala. Those the handful of seniors on the Tigers roster. Not as many seniors as they've had in years past. Fairly young team for the Tigers this season, but very talented roster all the way through. They've been number 1 in the News Gazette poll for the past few weeks, and they remain so this week as that shot by Lateef is blocked. And here we see Urbana will now take it the other way. Roman Minyev gives chase and will kick it. Logan Flessner, the nearest Tiger to the ball. Magnus Parente, he was telling me earlier that he expects to come out of the game fairly early, still nursing an ankle injury. We'll see how long Coach Blackman leaves him in, as it's Jacob Aaron now with the ball. 37 minutes and 10 seconds left, first half. And because this game was moved up 2 hours, the senior night festivities will take place after the conclusion of the match. So where the players are typically honored and escorted by family members and friends, and it's this whole big spectacle. That will take place after the game. Slight change from how things normally are operated on a night like this, but Tigers adapting and making the best of Mother Nature's curveball. So, Here we go the other way. This should be a turnover, and it will be. Richwoods putting up a pretty good fight here early on. It's been about even. Two teams have shared a similar amount of time with the ball. And Jacob Arend will throw it in, number 11. And that's blocked. Shot on goal saved by Artem. Regarding Jacob Arend, a 35, I believe, on his ACT score. He likely will not have a career after high school in soccer, but definitely very well set up for a career in something outside of soccer with that 35 on his ACT. And, several high ACT scores throughout this Tigers roster. I believe Sam Arend, Jacob's twin brother, got a 30. Pretty good. There's Roman Minyev. And it's Bridgewater going the other way. Latif Bridgewater, a senior, stolen away, but he's going to keep fighting for it and slides with the ball, but it's out of bounds. This is a pretty good kick. And it's Parente. Mentioned that ankle injury doesn't seem to be hampering him too badly. Perhaps he got it worked out in the pregame warm-up. Urbana expected to win this game, so I'm interested to see maybe how hard they'll push. Definitely they want to try and put it away early. I don't think we'll see any rain tonight, but there's always that possibility. It's cloudy, and then Parente loses the ball. It goes out of bounds. This cloud's definitely not the darkest I've seen in my lifetime. Fairly moderate. And I mention that because the darker the cloud, the more moisture it's holding, and the more likely it is to produce rain, or snow, or hail, or what have you. And outside of the clouds, it really is a pretty nice day here in Urbana, about 70 degrees, humidity not too bad. Header by Latif will be blocked at the goal. Peoria Richwoods, of course, in the green and black kits. Urbana in the white and black kits. Artem Burnett, Urbana's keeper, wearing black and yellow. And Richwoods' keeper wearing orange, with perhaps some accents of yellow on his kit. 32 minutes and 56 seconds left. First half. A little hesitation here, and now it will be kicked away as number 13, Will Wentworth, handling the kicking duties there for Richwoods. And we'll see a punt from Artem. Pretty good punt, in fact. Rumor had it earlier this season that he would go out for football and handle the kicking duties, and I presume the punting duties as well, for the football Tigers, but that never came to fruition. Could be argued that if the Tigers had a kicker for football, we would have beaten Central a few weeks ago, and perhaps even Lincoln last week. And Bennett will kick it out of bounds to the school. Ricochets off the building, and it will be thrown in. Looks like that's number 7, Anthony Collins, for Richwoods. Pretty good throw. And Richwoods with a pretty good chance to score here, but that's Freddie Lopez-Turquios knocking the ball away, and there will be no score for Richwoods on that possession. Here's Parente. Parente will pooch it back to Artem, who will kick it away. here's Bennett. Bennett back to Arend. And Arend will kick it to Flesner. Flesner misses it. It's Minyev. And Minyev will pass it down to Bridgewater. Bridgewater can't catch up to it. Instead, it's Will Wentworth taking it away. Nice move by Bennett. Here's Parente. Parente will set it up for Freddie. Freddie, a fellow senior, now goes to Roman. And Minyev almost loses the ball, gets it back to Freddie. Turkios, nice shot attempt here. Bridgewater. There's a collision. It looks like Latif might be a little shaken up on that. It looks like he'll get up. He was just going for the... And indeed, he's going to stay down a minute. Not a dirty play by any means on the part of Richwoods. It's just two players going for the ball there. Same place, same time. And a pretty spectacular collision in terms of the movement of both players. Lots of flailing around and whatnot there. That could be a good sign, as it's the sudden stops that really get you in a collision. It looked like there was a fair amount of energy to go around between the two, but of course we won't speculate. Looks like some little gaggle of people coming out to tend to Latif here. Coach Blackman is out there. I believe our trainer from Carl is out there as well. And Latif will walk off the field. I can't tell if he's being assisted or not, or if that's entirely under his own power. Nonetheless, that was a great chance for the Tigers to score, and they almost turned that into a point, an early lead. Couldn't quite do it. It was a nice job done by Richwoods' keeper here. That's either Kevin Cunney or Jefferson Colmer. Both sophomores. See if we can get a number on that at some point. And out of bounds. That will go out of bounds as well. $30 still to play. First half. I see some cross-country runners, I believe, down there near the concession stand. They have practice this afternoon. Their season drawing to a close. This will go out of bounds. Goes in the air, and they're to play it Sam Arend. Arend kicks it high into the air. Out of bounds it will go near the 45-yard line. Sam Arend, you want to look at him. Very big progression between his sophomore and junior seasons. The biggest I have seen of any Tigers player as this ball goes into the stands. And here's Arend. Jacob Arend out of bounds. I feel as though I was just bitten by a mosquito or something of that nature on my hand. Slight annoyance. We will move through it. This is Artem Burnett from what would be the own end zone of the Tigers. This is a football game. Good kick, about 55, 60 yards. Out of bounds. Minyev gave chase, couldn't quite get to it. And a nice job here by Urbana, moving the ball forward. Really nice job. Although that pass intended for Bennett Anderson did not find him. Looks like Rodrigo has come out of the game. Yes, Rodrigo no longer in the contest. He was one of the seniors that started. This is Minyev down in the corner. And now Richwoods will take it the other way. And I think Logan Flessner is out of the game as well. So 2 of the seniors who started for the Tigers no longer in the contest. They will likely re-enter later on. Nice pass for Parente, who heads it in. That's going to be Urbana's first goal of the afternoon. They go up 1-0. Magnus Parente, that ankle is not weighing him down any in this one. He puts the Tigers up 1-0. That's what the Tigers can do. They can set up these scoring opportunities just like that. Never know when they're going to strike, but they'll strike. And the Tigers go up 1-0 against these Richwoods Knights. Seven and 9 and 1 are these Knights I mentioned. Trying to play spoiler here on the senior night. Tigers 12 and 4. I believe 12 and 3. They have not lost many contests. One of those losses was on the road at Bloomington. Bit of a surprise loss there, but they've rebounded from that one nicely. Didn't affect their standing in the News Gazette polls at all, and they've remained number 1 for quite a while. I dare say even the entire season. But I could be off on that. But very talented soccer team here that looks to make that postseason run. I believe last season they finished 19 and 4 or something to that effect. Here's Parente again. And Parente pass. Okay. That was 4. Fernando Oliva Contreras. My fantasy football team remains undefeated, 5-0. Tough run down the stretch here, but I like my chances. Definitely, if not for an undefeated season, for my second league championship. I had a pretty talented squad last year. I was stopped a little short. Lost in the semifinals. Ended up having to settle for 3rd. But let me tell you, last year's team could have gotten the job done. And I think this year's team is just as talented. 9 and 4 regular season finish last year. This is kept in bounds. Nice job by number 10, Isaac Custer. Last year's team, the Dak Attack, so named for Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott. This year, my team name is the Taco Charlton Tuesdays. We'll hold that thought. Bennett Anderson, a good chance to score here. Nice move. He almost got the ball back, but instead it winds up in the hands of Richwoods' goalie. The Taco Charlton Tuesday is so named for Cowboys defensive end Taco Charlton. Excellent name. Just completed a trade for Carson Wentz and Kelvin Benjamin. I'm really excited to see how those two will help my squad out. Here's Parente, a nice chance to score. Nearly got his second of the game. Couldn't quite do it. Pablo Diaz gives chase to it. He will get the ball back. Tigers inside the 20-yard line, and almost a nice pass for Fernando. Just let him on a little too much. He will go out of bounds. Guy I'm playing this week, he's got a lot of guys on buys. A lot of his main guys are not in action this week. So I'm sure he'll replace them. He'll get his lineup filled out, but they're not going to be his main guys. So I'm feeling pretty good in that I can perhaps steal a win this week and move to 6-0. But got to play the game to find out what happens. Jake Aaron almost getting it back. And one more little thing on the fantasy football tangent. I do hold the all-time record for most wins in a season. The inaugural season of the league, I finished 11-12. No, 11-2. 11-2. I misspoke. 11-2 was my. Yes, 11-12 would not be a very successful campaign, especially for a 13-game season. But an 11-2 season in 2013, that stands as the mark for most wins in league history. And I think I sealed the deal that year and won the championship. Might have fallen a bit short. I'd have to go back and look at the league history pages again. And here's Jake Aaron, who will throw it in. Tigers up 1-0, 22 minutes and 10 seconds left in this first half. It's senior night, final regular season home game for these Tigers seniors. Coach Blackman as well. Perhaps the final home game entirely of their careers. You know, we'll see where the playoffs takes these Tigers. This is wide right. And what a tenure it has been for Coach Randy Blackman. This is, obviously, I've mentioned, final regular season home game. Such a storied career here at Urbana High School as their soccer coach. He's worn many hats. He's coached softball. He's taught driver's ed for many years. Retiring at the end of the school year, so that'll be next May. But, obviously, soccer not a year-round endeavor. I believe he coached the girls' team for a time as well, so hold that thought, see what the Tigers can accomplish here. Bennett Anderson. Now it's Roman Minyev. And Richwoods will take it the other way. The Tigers, 2012, finished second in the state of Illinois. Fell a little short in the title game that year, but still made the state championship game. You will notice that the soccer field here at the Tigers Athletic Complex is named Blackman Field in Coach Blackman's honor. It's not difficult to hear Coach Blackman yelling at his players to get them fired up here in the middle of the game, even as we are probably 75 yards away from him and much higher. Nice job by Flessner to keep it in bounds. I don't think Anderson will be able to get this one. Whistle's blown. The play here is dead as we are now under 20 minutes to go in the half. Our next broadcast is next Thursday, October 19th. That's volleyball versus Monticello. Senior night for the volleyball team. 7 o'clock p.m. is when that one will start, so that'll be fun. And then October 20th, the day after that, senior night for the football team as they take on Peoria Manual here at home. One more game for the football Tigers before that one, and that is on the road this Friday at Bloomington. Tigers have been very close to getting their first win of the season these past 2 weeks. Fell just 1 point short at home here against Central. And then last week just 1 touchdown short. 19-12 loss to Lincoln High School. A game that really the Tigers, if we're going to be honest, had not much business being in there late in the game, but they were able to persevere, fight through it, and fell a little short on their final drive. Was not a big fan of the, well, okay, so I didn't really have a problem with the officiating that night. Several others did, so, I mean, what are you going to do? But we'll get him on Friday, hopefully, against Bloomington. Pablo Diaz, I think he got kicked in, I want to say the leg there. He'll hobble around. He will likely be just fine. And we'll see Richwoods keeper punt it away, or rather kick it away. Here is Pablo Diaz. These a lot of gnats here tonight, a lot of little bugs. And you get that on days like this. It's Diaz. Chicago Cubs in action right now, I believe. Delayed up in Chicago, but they were supposed to be playing right now. And here's Flessner, a chance to score, gets blocked. Jake Arrieta on the bump for the Cubs tonight. Tanner Roark on the mound for Washington. Roark went to the University of Illinois. And a big football game for the University of Illinois this Saturday as they take on Rutgers. Illinois looking to get themselves bowl eligible for, I guess, they didn't make a bowl last year. Bill Cubitt took them to a bowl, I think, in 20. No, that was Beckman. No, I'm talking about the bowl they played against Louisiana Tech. Was that Cubitt or that had to be Cubitt? Yeah, it's been a while since we've played in a bowl game. A meaningful bowl game, anyways. Out of bounds. We're not going to make a bowl game this year. Ball is thrown into Flessner. Here's Flessner. And I tell you, we are primed for a pretty exciting second half here if this thing holds up the way it is. 15.5 minutes left to play. 1-0 contest. And, you know, Richwoods knows how good we are. You know, very strong team in this Big 12. So they're going to come out of that halftime break motivated, should they keep this within 1 or 2 goals. It'll be up to the Tigers and Coach Blackman to make the necessary adjustments and keep the momentum going in the right direction. Both teams will obviously try and tack on as many goals as they can before that halftime break, and there is still a lot of time to do just that. Kept in bounds. Oh, it's out of bounds. The 30-yard line. A game that has moved along at a pretty quick pace. It's Fernando who will just kick it out of bounds. Didn't see much of an option to execute the play that he wanted to. Here's Flessner kicking it out of bounds. "14 minutes left to play. And here's Bennett. Bennett will kick it deep to Bridgewater. Header. And Richwoods goes the other way. There's Pablo. Pablo to Bennett, and Anderson will kick it down the field. And Pablo Diaz, here go the Tigers. They are attacking to Bridgewater. Whiffs on the potential scoring opportunity, and Richwoods will get it back. Urbana will cut it off here at the 26-yard line. Here's Bennett. And a whistle's going to be blown. Some sort of violation here. Looks like the Tigers will maintain possession. And here's Anderson. No, it's going to be Pablo. A little trickery, and the header just a little too much on that. Through the uprights, and no good. So it will be kicked away by Richwoods here. .12:05 left to play. And it will be Urbana's ball. Arden Burnett, a good kick. And the Richwoods player tripped over the ball. And Richwoods will take it the other way. This is going to go out of bounds. 11:05 left to play first half. .10:55 left, and Jacob Arend will throw it away here. Down to Bennett, and out of bounds. Clouds perhaps darkening just a bit, but I don't think it'll be too much of a problem here. I could actually check the forecast, but not much fun in that. That's a halftime thing. And Aaron, good kick here. Goes right to a Richwoods player, but Pablo Diaz is there to get the ricochet. And goes down to Bridgewater. Bridgewater couldn't quite get a foot on that, and now he will catch up to it. They're going to say it was out of bounds on Richwoods number 21, Sid Saxon. So, nice job by Bridgewater there, and it will be Urbana's ball. They'll start with it here at the 5-yard line. Goes to Bennett, now back, and to Pablo. And a good chance here for Urbana. Jose Ambrosio to Bennett Anderson. Anderson hops up, can't get it. Magnus Parente has come out of the game. Sam Arend will get a chance to play it. Arend, one of the seniors we highlighted earlier. And look at those moves from Sam. It's going to go all the way over the pitch to Ambrosio. Inside the 20-yard line, kicked away by Saxon. Action intensening here. An American flag displayed on the scoreboard. 8:45 left. And I was talking to Athletic Director Steve Waller before the game, and he told me that he would try to have that scoreboard operational at some point here in the game. Now the Jimmy John's logo flashes. Big sponsor of the Tigers athletic program. It's Jimmy John's. Lateef Bridgewater. My mom actually had some Jimmy John's for lunch, so I got home, saw Jimmy John's bag on the table, and thought there might be something in there for me. There was not. It's just her lunch that she'd already eaten. She told me I could throw away the bag. That wasn't as fun as eating the food would have been, but I obliged. Artem Burnett will kick it away from inside the 5 here. Yeah, it'll be more like inside the 10. About the 7-yard line is where he punts that one from. And this play whistled dead. $7:20 left to go. Here's Aaron. And back to, this is Jacob Aaron. I probably should specify. He slips, gets back up, still manages to find his man here. Tigers pushing. And Coach, wasn't Coach Blackman, a separate coach there on the sidelines will field that. So 6 minutes and 31 seconds left on the board. Thrown in. Here's Aaron, kicking it up. And Bennett Anderson, little spin maneuver, goes back to Magnus Parente, who's come back into the game. Nice pass. We'll see. It finds Bennett. Bennett puts a kick on it and kicks it right to the Richwoods goalie. High kick and a pretty good punt from Richwoods there. Here's Parente. Nice header there from Jacob as well. There's Freddie. It's the only two seniors not on the pitch right now, Rodrigo and Logan. I want to make sure I have that right, and I believe I do. Here's Freddie. Nice little line drive action, but it's going to go through the uprights. A little too much action on that. No good. 5:05 left. Tigers desperately want to go into that halftime break with the advantage. An advantage, no matter how slim, better than a tie game. For 23:22 left now. Clock ticking, not much of a sense of urgency here from Richwoods. They know they've got plenty of time. It's Bridgewater here, header. Skies are darkening a bit. Do the Yankees and Indians play tonight? Or is that tomorrow night? And here's a chance. Minyev, a chance for Urbana. Goes to Lateef, and he slips. This will go out of bounds. Thursday. I will be taking over the News Gazette Snapchat account and chronicling a day in the halls of Urbana High School. You don't want to miss that. That's Thursday on the News Gazette Snapchat account. Pablo Diaz. 2:52 left in this half. And Pablo is going to get it back here after a strange sequence of events. Back to Sam Arend at the 50-yard line and over to his brother Jacob inside the 40, about the 36-yard line there. And here's Minyev. Here we go again. Good chance for the Tigers. He will set up Bridgewater, and Lateef Bridgewater will get that goal. It's 2-0 Urbana. Lateef breaks through his first goal of the game, the second goal of the game for Urbana, and the Tigers up 2-0 here just prior to halftime on senior night. That'll be 2:24 left in the half. And a pretty good crowd here at McKinley Field tonight. Still filing in. A lot of plans were changed when the game was switched from 6:30 to 4:30. We'll see a lot of players, or rather a lot of fans, stream in to watch the conclusion of this one in the senior night festivities. Parente, the Tigers have another chance to score, and way too high and to the right there as this ball goes out of bounds. Way out of bounds. Minute 30 left, first half. Tigers defense will just do all they can to prevent a goal from coming across. Minute 8 left in the game, or rather in the half. This ball stays in bounds. Nice job by Sid Saxon to keep it in. And half of a minute left in the half. Richwoods trying to do all they can to score here. Urbana defense trying to shut them down. And going the other way, it's Diaz. Diaz will kick it to Flessner, who's back into the game. And he will set it up for Parente out of bounds. And that will likely end the half. 3 seconds left, 2 seconds left, 1 second, and we are through the first half. The Tigers enter the break up 2-0, and we'll be back for more in just a few minutes. Keep watching the Tigers Media Network. And we're back from McKinley Field on the campus of Urbana High School. It is senior night for these Tigers boys soccer seniors, and they enter this second half up 2-0 against Peoria Richwoods. Again, I'm Joey Wright on the call here, and Richwoods, they'll be looking to score some goals here in the second half. That's the only way that they will close this 2-0 deficit for Urbana. They will look to play some stout defense and get out of here with a win. This is the final home game of the regular season, final regular season home game for these seniors, and indeed for Coach Blackman as well. Artem Burnett had the ball slip out of his hands there. He will recover, and he will be just fine. This game was moved up from 6:30 until, from 6:30 up to 4:30 because of weather concerns. Those weather concerns should not amount to anything, but what will amount to something is that goal from Lateef Bridgewater, who will put the Tigers up 3-0. That's exactly how the Tigers wanted to open up this second half. Bridgewater, that's his second goal of the afternoon. One more and he'll have a hat trick. And the Tigers assert their authority here early on in the half. Four goals and we will have sort of a mercy rule situation come into effect. Here's Parente. Parente, a nice move. We'll go over and find Lateef. Lateef will look up the field to Minyev, but he'll lead him on a little too strongly. And out of bounds it goes. .38:45 left. And it's Bridgewater. Out of bounds. Oh, I felt a sprinkle, so perhaps those weather concerns will amount to something. The Weather Channel app said there was but a 35% chance of rain for 6 o'clock. That's in about a half hour. 38:15 left. And here's Parente. Parente goes over to Turkios, now to Arend. And it's Jacob Arend to Parente. Parente at the 45-yard line. Oh, almost slipped away from him. He'll recover. Again, our next broadcast after this one, the senior night theme continues. It's senior night for the volleyball team. The volleyball team in action once more on the Tigers Media Network. That is October 19th against Monticello at 7 o'clock p.m. Always a fun one when we're inside the Oscar Adams gym for volleyball. That laser from Minyev is rejected. Principal Matt Stark joking around with the spectators there. It's easy to joke around when you're up 3-0. That's our score right now with 37 minutes and 7 seconds left in the half. Chicago Cubs and Washington Nationals will have to wait a day to play Game 4 of the National League Divisional Series. That game postponed until tomorrow, 4:08 Eastern Standard Time. But the first pitch will be at 3:08 Central Standard Time as the game takes place at Wrigley Field, which is very much in the Central Standard Time Zone. 4 time zones across the continental United States. Got your Eastern Standard Time, your Central Standard Time, Mountain Standard Time, and Pacific Standard Time. Mountain Standard Time being the most irrelevant of the 4 time zones. Even though major cities such as Denver and I want to say perhaps an Albuquerque or a Phoenix located in the Mountain Standard Time Zone. This is just between the uprights and the crossbar. Tigers just inches away from going up 4-0. want to say there's an Alaskan Standard Time for Alaska. That's 5 hours behind Eastern Time. And Hawaii Aleutian Time, 6 hours behind Standard Time. I think I have that correct. This shot from Parente wide to the right. That's why when people fly into Hawaii, they get jet lag. Same for Los Angeles or Anchorage. Any other major city to that effect. Here's Anderson. Bennett Anderson is gonna almost set himself up there for a nice goal opportunity. Here's Parente. Parente will look back and find Jake Arend. And goes over to here. This is Minyev. Minyev over to Flesner. Logan Flesner on the right side. Out of bounds. Wind is beginning to pick up a little bit here. Not too bad with a light jacket. The clouds have darkened considerably since we started out here this afternoon, but it's also because we're getting later in the day and the amount of sunlight behind the clouds is lessening. Here's Parente. Parente trying to bring some sunlight to these Tigers. Can't do it. Turnover. 33-35 left. And here's Freddie. Spoke with Magnus yesterday, and he said that these players, because this is Coach Blackman's senior night as well, they want to send him out on a good note here. Close out his home career with a W here. So Tigers well on their way to doing just that. Sam Arend, header. And you know, I mentioned earlier sectionals will be contested here at the Urbana High School Athletic Complex. Sectional's always a good time. We hosted them last year, and the Tigers fell just short. I believe they lost in the sectional semifinal. So, you know, they'll look to obviously advance through regionals and make their way to sectionals again, where they will, you know, look for revenge. Out of bounds. Someone on the football team just dropped a pass. Pablo Diaz. Bennett Anderson, this could be a good opportunity for the Tigers. Let's see. Bennett Anderson wearing number 3 will go in, and someone has lost an item. A shoe? That's not a shoe. Is that a shoe? No, that's a shin guard piece there of Bennett's. Perhaps looks like that goes into his sock there, so as he re-accessorizes, Tigers move on, and it will be thrown in from the 36-yard line. Header. Here's Anderson. And Anderson looks. And he's got another chance. Chance at redemption. Oh, nope. That's off the scoreboard. I'm not quite sure I was kicked that high. And on that scoreboard, the little profiles, each of the seniors on this team being highlighted. Little video there that I put together this afternoon. I think it turned out pretty good. Parente. Here's Anderson. Bennett Anderson. Oh, almost. Almost found Fernando there on the header, but he couldn't quite connect. 29:52 left. And here's Anderson. Bennett Anderson seems to have been the dominant offensive player as of late. This is off of somebody and out of bounds. Pretty good crowd still filing in here. Oh, I see my brothers down there, I think. I think those are my brothers. I should probably know that, but they are down there by the concession stand. And really, what a concession stand this soccer team has. What a concession stand this school continuously puts out at their athletic events. Bennett Anderson will score. Slides in and puts the Tigers up 4-0. A little bit of that concession stand magic, and the Tigers go up 4-0. Put a little queso on that one. 28:37 left in the game. It's not out of the realm of possibilities that the Tigers could, or realm of possibility, I guess it's singular, that the Tigers could put up 3 more goals and we get out of here a little early. That's about my biggest pet peeve, though, is when these teams put up 7, but they don't put 7 up until like 5 minutes left in the game. Because when a team goes up by 7, it cuts the game clock in half. So if a team starts the second half up 7-0 or 8-1 or what have you, they would play 20 minutes instead of 40. If a team were to go up by 7 points, 7 goals, with 30 minutes left, it would be reduced to 15. So like, team waits until 4 or 5 minutes left in the game to score. You don't really get out of there any earlier. Shave about a minute off the game, 2 minutes off the game. So it's like, and a nice save. Here's Sam Aaron chasing the ball. He will just kick it back to Artem. Artem, in the games we've seen this year on the Tigers Media Network, has done a pretty fair job. I think he's only allowed 1 goal in the games we've broadcast combined. That would have been the Normal West game that I was not here for. I don't think we allowed any goals against Bremen. Haven't allowed 1 yet tonight. I don't even know how many of these we've done. This would be the Centennial. No, I think we cut that one. Yeah, I don't know. Artem's a pretty good goalie is my point. And Magnus, a little too much on that one. The American Club hosting an open mic night in the Commons November 14th at 6 o'clock p.m. That's always an event to look forward to. They are already advertising that in the morning announcements. So I'll hook them up with a little advertisement here on the broadcast. That's how you know that they are committed to putting on a good event, a fun event for all. You get some powerful stuff at those open mic nights, so that'll be a fun event to perhaps attend. That is November 14th at 6 in the Commons. Not a lot going on at the school in the next few months. It feels like it's just going to be one of those years. The advanced composition English classes going on a field trip to Parkland. The two advanced comp English classes. I believe that is at some point in the next few weeks. I've got to turn my permission slip for that in. Also, the advanced comp classes have an essay due on Thursday. That essay on the Dave Eggers book, Zaytune. So we'll have to find out what the students of those two classes have to contribute in the way of their thoughts on the book. Those essays for Miss Erlinger's class due Thursday. Mr. Dutton's stats classes took a test last week. 3 people in his 8th hour class have yet to take that test. They need to make that test up. One of those people, Magnus Parente, who had to miss the test because the soccer team let out early for a soccer game that afternoon. I have no problem admitting that I did very well on that test, especially the multiple choice part. Will Magnus Parente be able to match my feats of intelligence? We will find out when he retakes that test sometime this week. On a more serious note, definitely be sure to check out the News Gazette's Snapchat account on Thursday, as I will be taking over the account and chronicling a day in the life at Urbana High School, featuring students, teachers, and more. You can add the News Gazette on Snapchat. That's at news-gazette. And it should be a lot of fun. It's something that I believe everyone in the high school confidential program will do at some point. Kenzie Pence over at St. Joe Ogden did it last Thursday, and it was met with pretty high degree of success. I followed along that day, and she definitely did a good job, and it was pretty interesting. So hopefully I can contribute some meaningful things to the story. That's on Thursday. Back to the game at hand. Not too much of a thriller here. Urbana in the driver's seat 4-0. Logan Flessner, Bennett Anderson, the 2 seniors on the field for the Tigers right now, out of bounds. Sam Aaron is also on the field, as is Freddie Lopez Turquios, so I guess twice the amount of seniors I originally saw. And, of course, Artem back there in the goal. But Artem's not getting much action here this second half. .21 minutes and 10 seconds left. After the game, the senior recognition ceremonies, of course. Big game for the football team at Bloomington on Friday. The Tigers 0-7, but they've played good football these past 2 weeks. it'll be a tough one at Bloomington, but it should, I don't know what it should, but it could be a good upset possibility for the Tigers moving into their final home game of the season in 2 weeks. Got Athletic Director Steve Waller rolling around in the bleachers right now. Just found out today, Steve Waller makes a pretty good deer jerky. He makes a mean jerky. I mean, that was some good stuff. Credit where credit is due. That was tasty jerky. And deer is not a meat that I typically consume. So I'd have no comparison as to what like a deer steak would be like as opposed to beef steak or something like that. But definitely a meat I would be open to trying. I don't know. I'm a city slicker when it comes to my meat intake. Your chicken, your beef, your pork. Not much into the venisons or lambs or ducks or any of those sorts of meats. Your typical lunch meats I'm a fan of. Ham, turkey, salami, pepperoni. Roast beef. And here's Sam Aaron. This was going to go out of bounds. So 18:48 left in the half. And counting. Oh, yeah. And good offensive chance for Urbana here. Richwoods will take over. Richwoods has not done a very good job on offense here this second half. We'll see if they can break through into the score column as they move it inside to what would be the red zone for football. And Urbana will deny them here. Nice job. And here goes Logan Flessner. Flessner, good defense from Richwoods. He slides, and Flessner will not get an opportunity to score. $17:25 left. Yeah, from start. I'm once in a lifetime. It's like I don't. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I remember John. Yeah, John was already graduated. Oh, really?
Here's Bennett. And here we go up the pitch for Richwoods. 16:10 left. And now 16 flat. see if Richwoods can mount that offensive score that they've been looking for to this point. Oh, I'm checking my phone here. Update from Bleacher Report. Steven Strasburg, nursing an illness, still won't start tomorrow. It'll be Tanner Roark on the mound, as planned. Interesting development. I don't know why. I guess I'd go with Scherzer. And that'll be a goal for Logan Flessner, I believe. Gets on the board. 15:07 left. Tigers go up 5-0. Flessner, a senior. His first goal of the night. Scherzer pitched what? 3 nights ago? 4 nights? I mean... Oh, that would have been... Okay, I didn't realize he was on the mound. Yeah. That's right, he did pitch yesterday, didn't he? Yeah. Had a no-hitter going through 6. Yeah. If I was a Nationals fan, I'd be pretty disheartened. So many great performances and so little to show for it. Yeah. If I'm a Cubs fan, though, or a Nationals fan, whoever comes out ahead in that series, I'm nervous about that Dodgers matchup. Dodgers didn't have the second half a lot of people thought they would, but that talent is there. That rotation, I would want to face. They've got Kershaw, Alex Wood, Yu Darvish, Maeda, and Urias. Kenley Jansen in the bullpen. It's going to be a tough matchup for any team. Hope Logan can score another goal here. I didn't really give as much spice to his call as I could have there. Postseason baseball will do that to you. It'll distract you. Nats had Gio Gonzalez in Game 2 then. And we're back. I apologize there for the silence. I was retrieving the senior night script from athletic director Steve Waller. So, again, that senior night festivities will come after the conclusion of this contest. The contest, almost slipped away from Richwoods' goalie there. And Urbana looks to be in the driver's seat here tonight. So, I think we don't have too much to worry about. You never like to say it's over, but this one is looking like it's going to be pretty much over. $11:25 left, second half. Kevin Bookie will have a little tribute for Coach Blackman, so That'll be fun. Did an interview with Coach Blackman prior to the season, our fall preview show. Asked if there was any reflection upon this being his final season at the helm, and he said that at that time, this was before the season had started, he wasn't doing a ton of reflection, and he was just looking to get this team prepared for this season. Pablo Diaz prepared to score with Logan Flessner, who will put it up wide to the right, and a little too much on that. Coach Blackman said that he wasn't doing a lot of reflection back then in late August, but said he might do some reflection upon his tenure late in the season, kind of like right now, I would imagine would qualify as being when the reflection starts. And you know what a tenure he has had. He's led this Tigers soccer program to much success, well respected amongst players and students at Urbana High School. Definitely glad that I can say I was in his driver's education and physical education class for a semester into my sophomore year. So, yeah, big thank you from all of us here at the Tigers Media Network to Coach Randy Blackman. This is not by any means his final game. I think they've still got a few games to close out the regular season. Could be wrong on that, but at the very least, they've still got the playoffs, the postseason coming up, and so many unknowns with that. You know, you never like to say how far a team goes before the postseason starts, but there's going to be a lot of extra motivation amongst this team and amongst the coaching staff, as if they need it, to try and send Coach Blackman out with the ultimate prize, and this is his final season. That'll certainly be a fun storyline to follow. Pablo Diaz here. 8:45 left. But if you believe in storybook endings, what an end to this, his final regular season home, his final guaranteed home game. Tigers up 5-0 here, and they look to be able to hold on against Richwoods. Richwoods nearly a 500 team, 7-9. (2A) is Richwoods, so. Yep, 8 minutes left. Shout out to Justice Carter, News Gazette Athlete of the Week for this week. Justice, very talented cross-country runner. Talked to him this morning about college, you know, plans of that nature. Says he plans to go to the U of I believe. I don't want to really put words into his mouth, but he said he was thinking about the U of I. Not necessarily for cross-country, but said he might walk on or run on to the cross-country program there. You know, we'll see. See how that plays out. My thoughts on cross-country, a little too colorful to share on the air. Pablo Diaz here. I actually went to a cross-country practice over the summer. My brother runs cross-country, so I followed him to see what all the rage was about. Michael John here. Good chance to score. It is defended. And, you know, I decided that morning that cross-country not for me. I just couldn't take the burning intestinal pains and cramping. And that was only after the 10-minute warm-up. It was around the block of the aquatic center in the school. I could not handle it that morning. So I dropped out. Johnny still runs cross country. Whew. That was not a fun morning. Good nap afterwards. That was during my fitness kick over the summer. I've been meaning to get back on the treadmill, but one of the best decisions I made this summer was not signing up for that gym membership, because that would have been a waste of money. I would not have followed through on going to the gym as much as I was going to pay for that. That whole system that those gyms make you go through is flawed. You're locked into a year of paying for it, and it's if you don't pay for it or something, there's this fee that you gotta pay them. It's like $60. It's like I wasn't gonna have that kind of money. I'll work out at home. I'll run on the treadmill. I'll do some push-ups. Best thing about the gym is those vitamin water vending machines. I like the lemonade one. Went to Circle K before the game. I was going to get a vitamin water out of their Polar Pop machine, but the vitamin water they were out. So that's life sometimes. Life goes on. I have been making better decisions regarding my health in the past few months. I was a big fan of the Polar Pops before, last May. And since about, we'll say May 10th, we'll say May 20th, I've had 4 of them. 4 Polar Pops. And nice moves from Sam Arend. Breaking ankles. To the enjoyment of the crowd. .335 left. Good chance for the Tigers here. Can they add another one? Offsides. That goal will not stand. The clock will continue to run. .245 left. And then the festivities begin. I proposed like a fireworks show after the game to celebrate Coach Blackman's last home game, but I guess that wasn't in the budget. That would have been cool. I don't know why you'd figure more local high schools would have invested in fireworks by this point, perhaps like after a touchdown at a football game or, something like that. If I'm an opposing player and I see the opponent has fireworks, I'm just giving up. Because that's pretty cool. Especially ones that spell things. Those are fairly rare, though. Minute 13 left. Tigers up 5-0. This game all but over. All that's left to do is to cross the T's and dot the I's on the home portion of the regular season. This will be the 13th win on the campaign for Urbana, 10th loss on the year for the Richwoods Knights. "15 seconds left. Spin move here from Pablo. 5 seconds left. Whistle's blown. This game is, now we can say, officially over, and the Tigers win 5-0. So that's all for our soccer portion of the season on the Tigers Media Network. We thank you for tuning in to this one. Big shout out to all of the seniors as well as Coach Randy Blackman. That's all for our coverage tonight. The Tigers take home the 5-0 victory. Thank you.